Hi.
Hello, sir. Welcome to Go Local Live. We appreciate you taking the time and Skyping in with us. I think Mayor Finn, Mayor Avedisian talked about what the opportunity is. What's the ability to turn the switch quickly for American companies to go over and do business with all of you over there?
The first is interest and the second is incentive. America came here in terms of industry 50 years ago.
Right.
As a port to get into Europe, the European Union. Americans, with respect, always had a problem with the range of languages in Europe. So they used Ireland as a country English speaking with a very strong legal base for entry into the European Union. So we want to ensure that continues with a new generation of American industry. So a revolution has happened, having raised the matter with President Obama a number of times in the White House. The approval given by both authorities, both from the US and from Europe, in terms of the new flights. So this region here is one that was gained substantially out of what has been achieved following the visit of Governor Chaffee in May 2014, my own return there as Taoiseach in September 2014, the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding, and now the announcement of the flights. We raised that in the White House on a number of occasions at St. Patrick's Day. So Norwegian's decision to choose 4 locations in Dublin, Cork, Shannon and Belfast is of exceptional benefit to this country, as will do for long-haul flights what Ryanair did for short-haul flights in Europe over the last number of years.
Absolutely.
And in the centre of the county here, in the centre of the Western region, is a place in point, because it's got 1.5 million of a diaspora and 1.5 million of a population within its hinterland, most of whom have to travel to Dublin or Shannon to fly to America at the moment. So in terms of interest for a new Europe beyond Brexit,
yes, sir,
an opportunity for Rhode Island. And that's why I welcome Governor Avedisian here from Warwick, which has its own airport, where we could have these connections to establish and strengthen that for the future.
Mr. Prime Minister, one of the things I noticed while I was over there a few weeks ago was that the cost of real estate is so much cheaper than a place like London. Is that a huge competitive advantage for Ireland to be able to grow its economy? To do business in London, it's one of the most expensive places in the world. It's New York, it's Hong Kong. But in places like Dublin, and then go out of the city to some of the smaller cities, it's got a huge price advantage. Is that something that you can take advantage of in trade missions and having these conversations?
It's also there's another very serious argument here, because during the worst recession we've ever had, the construction industry collapsed completely. And we went from a point of building 90,000 houses a year to building less than 9,000.
Oh my!
The raise on a comparative scale is true. Now exceptionally high prices in Dublin, in the Greater Dublin hinterland, because of pressure of lack of supply of housing. So government over the last 2 governments have brought in a range of incentives and a suite of incentives for developers and local authorities to get back to supplying housing, both social housing, affordable housing, and for the many industries that come in here. You spoke to Mayor Finn about Brexit. This hasn't happened yet. Britain are not due to leave until 2019.
Right.
Remember this, London is a global financial hub and will continue to be so. But the businesses and the financial houses in London, when you discuss this with them, they want access to European money, they want access to the single market, and they want access to a churn of talent. We've got that here in Ireland. So for Ireland as a unit, and for Ireland and in the West, with 7 local authorities involved in this, here's an opportunity for Rhode Island, for Providence and Warwick and other towns and cities and industries to look to the trade centre now established in the centre of the unit here in Castlebar, and the corollary in Providence is an opportunity to build on this for the future. And that means jobs. And that's what the President has always talked about, jobs and employment. And that was the key to Ireland's success and recovery, the creation of jobs, the opportunity for young people to go out and work every day and live their lives and contribute to society. That's what makes for good government. That's why I welcome the delegation here from Rhode Island with Mayor Avedisian and his team, and we wish them every success in their discussion knock tomorrow. I would point out one other thing. Before I left government, we put through a special status for Ireland West Airport Knock, which gives it a unique facility in terms of development through plans drafted by the local authority, so that companies can decide to invest if they wish, with incentive to do so.
Mr. Prime Minister, thank you so much for taking the time. Also, we hope you'll come over and visit us in Rhode Island. Love to have you in studio whenever you get a chance to come over. This is a very exciting times between the two countries.
In fact, I had planned to open the Ireland West Trade Centre in Rhode Island, but unfortunately, whether the scientists got it right or wrong, whether it's climate change, the snow was too heavy. I had to take the train from Chicago down to Washington to meet with the President and discuss matters relevant to Ireland and the world. So I'd be happy to go back to Rhode Island.
That'd be great. We would love to have you. Thank you so much, everybody over in Ireland, for Skyping in. We appreciate it. Good luck with the rest of the trip, and look forward to hearing the results of it from Mayor Avedisian.
Here's the executive.